Hello and welcome. Rahul, you're watching me on my YouTube channel more talks. And if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. See, whenever I come in front of you, I have a purpose. I want to instill positivity and I want to bring something valuable each and every time in front of you so that you can have valuable information, because information are the key. And this information is whoever have information, they are able to make their livelihood better, because implementation of information and its uses are huge, and that is what we have to learn. We have to be agile, we have to be dexterous when it is needed, because until unless you don't prove your value, the world has been conditioned in monetary values, and the more value and productivity you show, the better you will be compensated. That is what we have made this world out of our curiosity, or whatever you say, human dynasty that has happened on this earth. They have shaped our society in a different way. We have conditioned our world. I don't know what kind of forces have shaped it, but I believe that there are two kinds of forces always, trying to save this universe. One is positive, one is negative. And if you are spiritually awakened, you will be able to feel that exactly what is happening in this world. And before happening any physical war, there is always a spiritual war that is happening before the physical war. And if you'll be able to win that very war spiritually, within your mind, within your soul, within your body, that happens, and in your field, when you perceive that reality, then you can shape your future as well. Because future and present and past can coincide, because time is malleable. And only those people who are awakened can feel that, because they will be able to understand exactly that anchoring in present can reflect in past values and can change and align the future perspective and outcomes also. That is what the darkness is terrified of. That is what they curb our persons. Why they are doing that? Because they are afraid of our influence. Because once we will be able to influence millions of people across each and every platform, their grip, their system, and the control that they are enjoying today will be dismantled. And that is why they are afraid of all the anomalies, or the people who are valuing virtues or truth. They are actually becoming someone who could be dangerous for darkness. That is why all these people who are plugged in into the matrix, the matrix is itself afraid of that very influence. That is why anomalies in the system, they don't want to tolerate that. Once you will be plugged into the system, you will be able to understand exactly what are the happenings within the matrix and within macro system, and how it shapes our reality, and how it is important to perceive all this reality. Because until unless when you do not anchor yourself in higher frequency, in higher dimensions, you won't be able to understand exactly what is happening beneath the surface. And once you will be able to get that revelation, what will happen to you, you will understand exactly why you have been tortured by the field and by the unfoldings of the events, why you have been segregated, why you feel reclusive all the time, why you feel that you have been, always alienated from the mainstream or the society, and you have been punished, many a time you feel that, because unfolding haven't been in your favors, unfoldings haven't been in your favor. And that is what is the challenging reality of all those people who are plugged in, because they know exactly how much they are capable of, and universe believe in them. Sometimes people see that your alienation, your reclusiveness, or your solitude is essence of yours, because they want to anchor higher frequency in the denser world. The denser 3D frequency of our world is denser, and the more most of the control are, exactly how matrix try to make you sleep, all the time when you get awakened. So the control is in their hand most of the times, but that doesn't mean unfolding and all the inventions and advent of technology is happening because of darkness. No, only the light can anchor, and because of them the reality exists. All the development that is happening and synchronicity of the development happens because of them, because they are anchoring that new dimensions. And that is why the control system is afraid of that. If more anomalies happen, more development, rapid development will happen, they won't be able to control this world, because first of all the main standard of them is that they should control this world outcomes, and every person should be in their system controlled. But when anomalies happen, they first of all discard these systems, these values, or their principles, the dogmatic principles, and all the laid down religious dogma. They discard that because they are on the journey of discovering themselves, discovering exactly what is the truth behind omnipotent, theories that have been laid down by the matrix. Because whatever fabrication is there, which is very subtle, very thin line is drawn by them, even the gods, that has been shown to the world, their story, the fabrications has been such weaved, that at the end of the day you can be manipulated. That is what is their agenda. When they will manipulate you, when you will be always in sleep mode, won't be able to perceive the reality, their system is intact because they are controlling you. And once you will be anomalies, more discoveries will happen because of you. The system will fail, and that is what they are afraid of. So that is why you will have to anchor yourself, because you know exactly you have many enemies, more than friends. You don't have much more friends, but you have more enemies. And once you will understand exactly, you'll move with such kind of intelligence and eclectic experience that will define your path, because your anchoring, your existence is important. And when you frustrate, you produce certain substance or certain material in this 3D world. That is also important for dark people, for dark entities, and that is why they don't want to eliminate you as soon as possible. Cultivation happens even in spiritual world. That is what you have to understand. Why they are waiting for you? Why they are trying to control you but not dismantle altogether. They want to attack on your financial standards, but not on your physical health exactly. To hinder your life. Rather, they want to control you and subtle hindrances in your way so that your fortune can be taken away. That is what is their reality. But once you understand exactly that the higher force, which is shaping the reality along with these all forces, which is favoring you, and that is what they are afraid of. So you have to recognize all these forces. Once you understand exactly what is happening and how the agents of them, the dark agents, are how they're favoring and trying to give a cover to each and every revelations, how they want to come into disguise and try to sabotage any kind of claim of life forces in any scientific methods, and revelations. That is what they are trying to cover. They don't want to give you a hope, rather they want to give you data, and they want to take away your hope, your standard, your moral standards, your virtues. That is what is their design. That is what they usually do. And the people who are showing their reality because of the existence of theirs it is enough, to make them naked, to bring their covered and camouflage and clandestine operation, get naked, So it is important that your anchoring is important. Once you realize your value, you don't think that always the unfolding is happening against you. Rather, you feel that because of your existence, everything is happening, changing beneath the surface. You won't even realize, but after that, after a big shift, you'll be able to realize exactly what is changing. Thank you for listening to me.